Thank you everyone for joining our webinar today on product review management. Just a couple of quick housekeeping notes as we get started here. Firstly, we're going to have about 20 minutes of presentation and then some time for a Q&A at the end. So look to the bottom of your Zoom window and use the Q&A box there to put in your questions so we can get to as many as possible at the end here today. Also, you should be seeing my shared screen right now. It's a blue slide with the title on it. If you're not seeing that, if you're seeing a picture of my face instead when I'm speaking, then just double click on my picture and that should switch to the shared screen mode instead. So there's kind of two windows that Zoom creates. You can just double click on the middle of whatever you're seeing to switch between them. And lastly, we are recording this, so we will send out the recording later on, and you'll be able to see it again, or if you are watching this later, you couldn't attend live, we're going to send this out to everyone so you can share it with others as well. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. With our presentation on product review management with FeedbackFive. So first, I want to quickly introduce myself for anyone who hasn't met me before. My name is Rachel Hoover. I'm a customer success advisor for FeedbackFive here at Ecom Engine. And this means I spend a lot of time doing personal onboarding sessions and account reviews with our users. And I also create help content like this webinar. And outside of work, I mostly like reading and cooking and baking. And today, for example, trying to stay warm in the middle of the winter here in the US. And just a quick introduction to Ecom Engine for anyone who might not be aware of everything that we do. So we're headquartered in Richmond, Virginia. We've been around since about 2007. And FeedbackFive was our flagship tool for Amazon sellers. So you're all familiar with that one. But we also have Restock Pro, which is supply chain and inventory management for FBA sellers. Market Scout, which is a market research tool, and Smart Price, which is an algorithmic repricer currently in beta. So if you're ever interested in any of our other tools, just let us know. We would love to have you. So today we're focusing on FeedbackFive and specifically the product review management part of FeedbackFive. So I want to touch on, firstly, why would you want to use a tool for product review management, why this is beneficial to your business. And then I'll go through how to actually set up Asins for tracking, how to use our product review analytics that we provide, how to get alerts on negative reviews, and then tips for responding to reviews as well. So to start off, why use product review management? Firstly, it's scalable. So you can have FeedbackFive automatically track product reviews on the Asins you select instead of manually checking for new reviews every day through Amazon. And this gives you speed. So you can get alerts when there's a low rating on any of your products so that you can respond to that negative review as quickly as possible and keep your brand's reputation very strong. And lastly, analysis. So you can view and present high-level metrics within FeedbackFive, and you can also download a CSV of all the review information for deeper analysis as well. So we essentially pull together all your reviews in one place so that you can act on them and analyze the information. So to get set up with product review management, firstly, you'll have to make sure that you're on the right plan level for your needs. So you get some free Asins with every FeedbackFive service plan. So if you have a FeedbackFive account today, you can use product review management. If you're using the light or basic plans, you get 2 free Asins or slots to add 2 free Asins. With Pro, you get 5 free Asins, and with the enterprise plans, you would get 10. And you can also add more ASINs with our product review management plans. They start at $9.99 per month for up to 50 ASINs, and they go up from there. So however many ASINs you need to monitor, you can just check your account page in FeedbackFive to see all the different options, and you can upgrade and downgrade that plan separate from your service plan just month to month, so very flexible. And a lot of sellers ask, how many ASINs do I need to monitor? How do I know what plan is right for me? It's best to monitor all of your parent ASINs, or at least all the ASINs that you are requesting reviews on. So if you're selling a mixture of your own brand as well as items that are maybe already popular on Amazon and have a lot of reviews, you might choose to just monitor your own brand and just focus on that. So with that, I'm going to pop out of my slides here and switch over to our demo account. And I'll show you just exactly how it works to get your product review management set up. So I'll click on product reviews here at the top of the dashboard. And the first time you go to this page, it'll be blank. There won't be any items here. So you'll need to add the items that you want FeedbackFive to manage for you. So click on Add or Remove ASINs. And I'm using a dummy account, so this won't be quite as visual, but when you are in your real account connected up to Amazon Seller Central, you'll actually see your catalog of products here so that you can just select items. There will be a checkbox next to each one. You can just select which items you want to add. So that will pull in each of your individual variations, all particular products that are currently in your catalog. So that's one option. A second way of adding ASINs that might be easier, depending on your situation, is to add ASINs from a file. So that's a great way to upload a big batch of ASINs if you already have a list of the items that you know you want to monitor. So it could be a CSV or a text file, just one ASIN per line. And then lastly, if you find this easier, you can just paste an ASIN directly into this list on the left. So whatever items you add the other two ways will end up in that list on the left regardless. You can also just paste them in directly. So that's a really good way to add maybe a parent ASIN that you are planning to monitor. If you monitor a parent, it'll pull in all the reviews on all the child variations, but it'll just count as one ASIN, so that's nice. And this is also a good way to add any other ASIN that maybe you're not actually selling. So you can monitor your competitors' products, you can monitor ASINs that you're considering adding to your catalog. Any ASIN on Amazon can actually be added to your FeedbackFive account. So I'm actually going to show an example of how to add an ASIN that I just found on Amazon, since I don't have a real catalog here. And just to show you how you would do this. So I just pulled up this fun dancing monkey toy, and I'll take the ASIN just from the URL, copy it, and then just paste it here and save changes. So that's how to add products. And when you first add items, you'll probably see this not available. It won't have all the details right away. That's normal because FeedbackFive is going to take a little bit of time to go back to all the reviews on that product for the last 90 days and pull in all of that information for you. So depending how many reviews are, this might take a little bit of time, but all that data will load. And once it does, it'll look more like these first three. You can see the picture, the title, the ASIN itself. If there's a SKU for that ASIN in your actual catalog, you'll have the SKU there. Mine are not available because I haven't set up SKUs for these, obviously. And you can see how many reviews were left in the last 2 days, last 90 days, average rating, etc. You can also click this gear, and if you want to have 7-day totals, for example, or remove any of these that are less helpful to you, you can do that. So once you have a big long list of items here, depending how many you've chosen to add, it might be kind of a lot to keep track of. So we give you some filters and ways of sorting through them more easily on the left side. For example, if you just want to see products that have received at least one review, say in the last month, you can use this last review received filter and just make sure that, say, you're only looking at items that got a review sometime in January already. You can similarly just look at items that have, say, at least one negative review in the past week. So I just put one in the minimum box there, and oh, I don't have any items with negative reviews in the past week, so that's good news. So there's lots of ways to filter the products themselves once you've added them, which is especially helpful if you have maybe hundreds or thousands of items chosen here. Once you've done this, you can also click into the title of a specific item to see the actual individual reviews on this product. So again, we pull in all the reviews for the last 90 days when you first add a product, and going forward, FeedbackFive will check for new reviews on that item every day and import any new reviews. And then the oldest reviews from 91 days ago will disappear. So obviously they're still out there on Amazon, but in FeedbackFive, we just keep 90 days worth of data here for you at all times. So on this page, you can actually sort and filter kind of similar to the first page. You could see, only reviews that were left recently, only reviews that are a certain number of stars, or you can just do all positive or all negative. We go ahead and put neutral reviews in with the negative. So if you filter by negative, it's just going to be 3 stars and below. You can filter for only verified purchase reviews if that's helpful, all of these things. You can also click on View Analytics here at the top to see a little more of a visual breakdown of what's going on with this product. So you can see the bar graph with the breakdown of different star ratings, as well as the donut chart here. So kind of 2 different visualizations that are helpful to understand whether the majority of your reviews are a certain star rating. And you can also see the average review rating here. So again, for the last 90 days, we just have a record of what the average review rating was on every particular day. So that way you can see, this item, for example, held steady at about 4.6 for a long time, but then it started to go up a little bit. So that's a good news. This is a good way to see if you are requesting reviews on this product, for example, how is that impacting the average review rating? Is that not just getting more reviews, but actually helping the overall star rating? And if you do notice that an item is getting maybe more negatives than we would hope for, or at least some negative reviews, you might want to check the actual comments of those reviews. Actually, you should check the comments of those reviews to see if there are any trends. So from this page, it's very easy. For example, I see that there are 7 2-star reviews. I can just click on that bar, which opens a new tab, and it's already filtered for me for 2-star ratings on this product. And that way I can read these comments and see if I notice any common themes. So if there's a lot of complaints about the item arriving broken, then I know that maybe something about the shipping process needs to be changed. If there's a certain aspect of the item that people are complaining about regularly, I know to maybe go to my supplier and work with them to make a change to the product itself. Whatever you find, this is meant to help you have actionable insights on what your customers' opinions are so that you can improve the product and the experience going forward. And similarly with the positive reviews, of course, you can look at those too and see if there's anything that customers are sort of maybe pleasantly surprised about with the product that you might want to work into your listing or emphasize more clearly in your title and bullet points. So that's the product review analytics. And one last feature that's helpful here is that you can download a CSV of any of these pages. If you're on the main product reviews page, the CSV download will give you 2 options. You can download the review summary, which is just what's in this grid, or you can download all reviews. And that's really helpful for if you want to kind of do deeper analysis on all the reviews. You can download the specific reviews on a certain item as well in the same way, but downloading all of them together gives you the ability to, for example, sort by date and see only the reviews across all products that were left most recently. And this is also a good way to just keep a record of all your product reviews over time. So some sellers will come in here, and because we have 90 days worth of data at all times, they will just download this report once every 90 days. And that way they could look back over maybe the whole past year and have a record of all of their reviews. So now that we've looked at the analytics features in FeedbackFive, we can switch over to alerts and how to respond to reviews. So alerts is pretty simple. You'll click on alerts at the top, and you have the option to turn on email alerts for negative product reviews and negative seller feedback as well. And you can also do text message alerts also if you have a US mobile number. And for the emails, you can choose individually. So that would be as soon as we're aware of a specific negative or neutral review, we would just send it to you right away. Or you can choose a daily digest at a certain time so that every day you can kind of have a routine of going in and responding to those reviews at a certain time every day. So once you have your alerts set up in the way you want, it's good to know a little bit about how to respond to reviews in the best way that Amazon allows. So as you might know already, Amazon allows buyers to leave reviews anonymously, and they don't give sellers or us as FeedbackFive the ability to actually connect the buyer or their contact information to the specific review. So it's all meant to be very anonymous, just for neutrality. Buyers can that way feel free to just leave their honest comments out there for future shoppers to see, which is Amazon's purpose. But Amazon does say that it's a good idea to leave a public response on reviews. So if you're the maker of these items, it's your own brand, it's especially important to at least respond to all of your negative reviews so that you can offer service and kind of explain better how to use the product, kind of whatever is needed in each situation, so that future shoppers won't, they'll have a better opinion of your brand, and they are less likely to be talked out of buying your product by seeing that occasional negative review. So in FeedbackFive, if you're looking at the reviews on an item, you can just click the title of a certain review, and that opens that review directly on Amazon. So instead of going to your listing and having to kind of scroll through all the reviews yourself and try to find which ones are negative and then which ones you've not responded to yet, etc., you can just go in FeedbackFive. You can filter maybe by negative only to start with, and then just click to the actual review here and just leave a comment. And if you haven't done this before, you'll want to make sure that you're, first of all, logged into the correct Amazon account to do this. And then you can click on your name here and make sure that your display name is showing up how you want it to be before leaving your response. It's a good idea to just keep this very polite, very helpful. If it sounds like the buyer might have just been using the product incorrectly, you can offer some tips on how to use it better. And if you are maybe seeing that the buyer just had a poor shipping experience or the item arrived damaged, something like that, it is okay to say something like, please contact us so that we can resolve this for you. So if the buyer contacts you, you're allowed to continue the conversation with them, but you don't want to provide a direct email address or anything that goes outside of Amazon. Just let them know that they can contact you through the Amazon messaging system and sort things out. And even if this particular buyer doesn't respond or doesn't get in touch with you, it's, again, really helpful for future shoppers to see that you're proactive, that you're listening to the voice of your customer and trying to improve their experience. So it really mitigates the effect of that negative review. And of course, you can respond to positive reviews as well. This might take a little more time, but you can at least click over to a few of them and just say thank you. If you notice any particularly glowing comments, that's a really nice touch just to thank the buyer for leaving their review. And again, it just shows future shoppers that you're paying attention, that you really care about what your customers are saying, and you care about giving them a good experience. So that is all I'm going to show within FeedbackFive for today. I just have one more little testimonial that one of our product review management users gave us, which is, I think, says it even better than I can. FeedbackFive's product review management tool is the best way to track what customers say about our products. It adds value to our company as we are able to track reviews in real time and show our customers how much we care about their opinion. So I really appreciated that remark from Santiago here. He's using product review management to help his own process and then also help give his customers a good experience. So it's important for both. So we will take questions here in just a moment. I'll answer as many as I can. But I have one last item before questions. And this is actually asking a favor from all of you. So you know that reviews are important, otherwise you probably wouldn't be here today. And reviews are really important for us as well. So Seller Central users can actually review apps that they're using directly in the Amazon Marketplace App Store. And we would really appreciate it if you would all share a review of FeedbackFive. We're going to put this link directly in the Zoom chat as well, so you can just actually click on it, open up that tab, and have it ready as soon as the webinar is over, so you can just leave your review. And again, we read all of those reviews. We really appreciate everyone that we get, so thank you in advance. All right, I'm going to take a look at the Q&A box now. Awesome, we have a couple good questions here. So one attendee asks, do reviewers get a notification in their Amazon account when you respond publicly? Also, if that reviewer then replies to your public response, do we get a notification for that ourselves? So far, I don't think that Amazon gives a notification either way. I'm at least pretty sure they don't actively notify buyers if there's a comment on their review, but it's a little hard to be 100% sure about that. It could be a setting that's buried in there somewhere, but the short answer is no. The buyer probably won't get a notification if you do that. They would be more likely to just sort of see your response there if they're maybe a very active reviewer and they're looking back at their recent reviews for any reason. But again, it's really beneficial, I would say primarily for future shoppers who are going to read that review. If they see that you're offering a genuine, helpful response and you're really paying attention to what customers are saying, it does have an impact on whether this future shopper will listen more to the negative review or see that overall the experience was still a good one, or at least that the seller is engaged and responsive. So that's really helpful. Melissa's asking a question about adding secondary accounts and making sure that alerts are going to a certain email address. And I'm sorry, Melissa, if this is maybe not quite what you're getting at. We're happy to follow up individually with you by email and make sure to answer this adequately. But it sounds like if you just want a certain member of your team to get those review notification emails, those alerts, then you can add that person as a secondary user on your FeedbackFive account. So as long as you're on any of our paid plans, our free plan only allows one user, but if you're on basic or above, you can go to store settings and then the users tab, and you can add in any email address you want. And that could even be, if you're using a ticket desk software like Help Desk, Zendesk, or one of those, you can actually put the email address for your ticket inbox in there, and that way all the alerts would sort of come in as tickets. That's an approach that a lot of sellers use. But basically anybody or multiple people on your team can get those alerts if they're set up as users. All right, I see a request for the recording. Yes, we will send out the recording to everyone who registered, probably within the next day or so. So that will be coming along. Thank you for your interest. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Thank you for being interested in attending live and the recording. We really appreciate it. Share it around with other people too. All right, so I think I'll take just one more here before we wrap up. Emily asks, I have 3 stores, UK, US, and Germany. Am I able to see all reviews on one site, or is it only on each site with no crossover? Because Amazon kind of separates those reviews into each marketplace, you would have to actually set up different stores with FeedbackFive and then add the ASINs for each store. So basically, just the way that we're pulling in that review data, we can only pull it from one marketplace at a time, whichever one your Seller Central is set up with, or whichever country the reviews are actually left on. And that can be kind of helpful, you know, if your star rating is for some reason much lower or much higher in a certain marketplace, that can give you some insights. So you would just set up multiple stores in your FeedbackFive account and then add the ASINs on each one. And if you need any more information about how to set up multiple stores, we do have some information on that in our help center. And again, we're happy to follow up with you by email and make sure that's all answered for you. All right, I think this is where we'll have to end for today. I know there's a few more questions coming in. We will do our best to follow up with everybody whose questions we didn't answer yet and make sure that we have that all that information for you. And if you think of anything later, just let us know. You can reach us by email, phone, live chat, whatever you find convenient. And if you have suggestions for future webinar topics, something that would be helpful for you to have a deeper dive on, please let us know that too, because we would like to continue having ongoing training for anyone who's interested. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Really appreciate it and hope you have a good rest of your day.